Greetings. My name is Drust. Welcome to my humble retreat, where I speak of tales and legends that I have picked up on my travels through the inner and outer worlds. Now the story I'm about to tell you reveals why we all succumb to sickness, and why the doctors and healers cannot always cure us. This is the story of Airmid's Cloak. Far away, in the land of Erie, which is now known as Ireland, the Tuatha De Danann revelled in their victory against the Fomorians at the Second Battle of Maig Tuireann. Their victory was due mainly at the hands of the legendary Lugh Lamfara, defeating Balor of the One Eye. Supporting the Tuatha De Danann was Dian, the god of healing, along with his son Mythology and his daughter Airmid. Now, Mythology was a prodigy in the healing arts, and his father had taught him very, very well. Maybe a little too well. Now, to give some context, an incident happened with the Tuatha De Danann at the first battle of Maig Tuireann. Their chieftain, Nuada, had lost an arm in single combat against another group of people called the Fir Bolg, and he lost his right to rule as chieftain. For he was not whole, as their tradition had stated. Nuada went to Dian, and he fashioned an arm for Nuada, but it was made from silver. So alas, under that technicality, it still did not give him a chance to reclaim his right as chieftain. But then Nuada went to Mythology, and he managed to fashion a new arm out of flesh for Nuada, which grafted over his father's previous work. And at last, Nuada had his chance and took leadership of the Tuatha De Danann once again. But this act of Mythology's made his father very angry. You see, Dian was a very wise and a very accomplished god, but he was also very proud and very jealous, and these aspects of his nature would later on be his undoing. A year and a day had passed since the second battle of Maig Tuireann, and Dian confronted his son, and he said, "I saw Lord Nuada's body on the field of battle, and to my surprise, his arm was flesh and bone, not the silver I had made. Explain, boy." And Mythology responded, "Father, I had to try. Is it not our role as healers to try everything in our power to help our patients, chieftain or not?" They argued, and then, in a furious rage, Dian picked up a sword and swung it at Mythology and cut into his son's head. But Mythology managed to heal the wound as per his own great powers. But then he swung his sword a second time and cut even deeper, reaching his brain. But Mythology was still able to heal the wound. But then Dian swung his sword for a third time, and he managed to cleave Mythology's head in too. Now, Mythology was powerful, but even he was no match to heal such a fatal wound. And after coming to from his bloodlust, Dian Cecht held his son in his arms and wept tears of sorrow and regret. Mythology was later buried, and the two other Didanen mourned him together. Mythology's sister Airmid suffered the most and would visit his grave every day, and her tears would fall freely and feed to the ground beneath her. But one day, she came to her brother's grave and found something that shocked her to the core. For you see, a herb garden had grown from Mythology's grave. Meadowsweet, vervain, mugwort, 365 plants were present. And upon close inspection, Airmid realized that the herbs had grown into the shape of the human body, exactly where Mythology laid under the earth. And each plant was in a specific place in the body where they would be most effective in healing. A complete apothecary for every ailment known to mankind. Airmid then rushed to get one of her cloaks and laid it on the ground next to the herb garden. She then started to carefully pick each plant and lay them on the cloak in the same pattern and order as she got it from. It took many, many days, but on what seemed to be the final day, she was almost finished. Now her father, Dian Cecht, was wondering where Airmid was going for days on end, so he decided to follow her one day to find out. He found her picking the herbs, and he pieced two and two together. Grief and curiosity then turned to jealousy and rage. "My son still haunts me with his skills," he thought. "Why must he continue to undermine me, his own father?" Back into his rage he went, and he stormed over to Airmid and the cloak, and without realizing he had picked up the cloak and shook it violently, scattering the herbs to the four winds. And once again he came to out of his bloodlust and his rage-filled eyes, and realization hit him like a strong blow to the head. They both shed tears that day, but each shed for different reasons. And that, my friends, is why no matter how hard the healers try, no one can be healed of all illness, and no one can escape the clutches of death. But every doctor and healer in the world have taken on Airmid's quest to find all the cures to the ailments of the human body. And who knows? One day, they might just succeed. I am afraid that is all I have time for. But I thank you very kindly for listening. If you have enjoyed what you have heard, be sure to like, comment and subscribe to this channel. And visit me again for more legends, tales and myths. Safe travels, my friends, and I hope to see you again very soon.